And now to party politics, where voting to select the APC candidate for the House of Representatives election in 2027 begins about now across Lagos State. And this is according to a report by our senior correspondent Solomon Ajiziogu. The chairman of the APC Electoral Committee for Lagos State, Sale Yipmang, has asked the polling officers rather, to be transparent and fair. Mr. Yipmang gave the charge as men and materials began moving out to the various polling areas from the APC Lagos State Secretariat. But today's primary election is to pick the party's 24 flag bearers for the 2027 House of Representatives polls. And members of the All Progressives Congress are gathered at Ojodu Primary School Ward B, venue of the party primary in Ojodu. Already officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, are on hand to monitor the proceedings. In the meantime, the member representing Ikeja Federal Constituency of Lagos State in the House of Representatives, Abiodun Faleke, has arrived the venue of the primaries. He was accompanied by his wife alongside party supporters. Well, in Ondo State, there was a large turnout of members of the All Progressives Congress at Ward 9 in Akure, the state capital, for the House of Representatives primary election for the selection of the party's candidate for Akure South and North Federal Constituency. Party faithful arrived at the venue as early as 8 a.m., demonstrating strong enthusiasm and commitment to the electoral process. The primary election was closely supervised by a monitoring team from the APC national headquarters, ensuring compliance with party guidelines and transparency in the exercise. Some party chieftains who spoke during the process described the primary as peaceful and well organized, commending both party officials and members for maintaining order in the states.
Party members were all around, party officials are around, everybody that needed to be around, they were all around. Everything went well. Really, really impressive. Our people came out, they voted, and it was so peaceful. The turnout was impressive.
Consonant with the laid down rules and regulation of the party, which says that we should go for direct primaries, where every card-carrying member of the party will have access to choose their representative, and that is what we have seen in action today here in Ward 5 in Akure South local government.
Akure has this manner of comporting themselves, of being orderly, without disruption. We've expressed same, without coercing anybody to his choice. People had come out to express their view, their opinion, their perspective. In that regard, that's why we see that everyone turn out to be free and fair.
I'm really happy that a lot of things have been put in motion to make the system to go on smoothly. And seeing the way members came out en masse, it shows that they are passionate about their party and their preferred candidates.
And to Kogi State, where members of the All Progressives Congress have converged on the Ubi Felele Junior Secondary School for the ongoing House of Representatives primary in Lokoja, Kogi Federal Constituency. The exercise involving delegates from 5 wards in Lokoja 2 was attended by the Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Aliyu Umar, alongside other party officials amid tight security to safeguard lives and property. Party officials say more than 15,000 delegates across the constituency participated in the voice vote that returned Dan Ladi Aguye as the APC candidate for the Lokoja Kogi Federal Constituency. Back in Lagos, our senior correspondent Solomon Ajiziogu has been monitoring this process since it began. Solomon, we've heard from other reporters across Lagos State as to the fact that voting commenced late, but you're telling us it begins at 1 p.m. Did the chairman of the APC Electoral Committee really specify why this started late?
Well, if I got you there, I'm here at the APC Secretariat, precisely in the conference room where men and materials moved out the location. And so if it was not going to be possible for votes to have started earlier than 12 today, because men and materials moved out of this place after taking the charge from the electoral committee chairman for Lagos State, sent him all the way from Abuja to monitor and supervise the electoral process of the APC primaries. So, it's only logical that voting at the various constituencies and local governments will begin at 1 p.m. if the materials have to move out here by 12. But then, before the materials moved out from here, one of the things was that in all of the constituencies, people had turned up, waiting patiently. It's a charged atmosphere in a lot of places, excitement by a lot of APC members who are keen where the primaries are to hold, where contests are to hold, who are keen to democratically elect their candidate, the flag bearer for the party, for the House of Representatives elections in 2027.
Solomon, this is your area of specialty, so of course you have, more to tell us about this. But talk to us about how important today's primary specifically is, for the party, especially ahead of the 2027 elections.
So for you to contest in a general election, you need an internal selection mechanism. And what you see here is the APC is a well-oiled machine of the APC to produce their own candidates that will be competing in the 2027 elections. So what you have is a situation where the party has decided, based on what the electoral act says, to pick their flag bearers either by consensus or by direct primaries. The party had wanted consensus overall, and consensus is a product of negotiated outcomes. So you have to negotiate with different tendencies within your political group. And when you do that, then you are able to arrive at a candidate or so to represent you. But then when that is not possible, what happens is that the directive is to go to the primaries, and the president has already laid out the gauntlet for that where consensus is not attained, then primaries will be important. And we have highlighted some of the key areas where this is expected to happen. For instance, in Mushi, you have a very key area of contest where you have the incumbent taking on Sheye Oladejo, the former APC spokesperson in Lagos. Then in Kushofe, you have Kapilat Ogbara, who is competing against Bayo Shinowo and, of course, Remi Odunsi. Then you go to places like Shomolu, where the elders of the party selected endorsed a candidate, an aspirant, but then the others are saying no. But then what's coming out from Shomolu now is that, well, maybe before the polls begin or before the polls are eventually sorted out, maybe something could have happened where they would have, one or two persons would have stepped down so that they can have a candidate to emerge there, maybe the one endorsed by the elders. But it's important that this is the mechanism that produces the candidates of the party ahead of the general elections.
Well, that's our senior correspondent, Solomon Ajizigu, live from the APC Secretariat, giving us update as to the House of Representatives primaries holding today. Let's go to